the most common mistakes that I found trustees to often make, and that is to attempt to govern without fully understanding and appreciating uh, the values and clearly understanding the mission of an institution. And I see a mission and values as really being central to governance. And if you don't understand that, then it's very hard to understand the rationale, the basis, the foundation, the premise upon which you often make decisions. And of course, the simplest way to deal with that is to make sure that you prepare yourself. There's always more to know than you will ever know, but make sure that you understand and truly appreciate that which you do know, and don't be afraid to ask if you don't fully understand. So I think that is the most significant mistake. And the second, I think, mistake that trustees often make, and that is attempting to micromanage. In my 40 plus years of experience, I've come to believe that there's clearly a governance lane and there's an administrative lane. And it's incumbent upon the president to respect the governance lane and for the trustees to respect the administrative lane. Now, that's not to say that they won't have good conversation, good dialogue, but I think it's very important for trustees, board of governors, about whatever name the governance structure is known, for them not to get themselves involved in micromanaging, and to respect that, because that's the only way you can really hold a president or a chancellor accountable, and that is to be clear about the expectations and then do your level best to support what you need to support to ensure their success. I use the analogy of a race. And in order to run a good race, you have to make sure that you get out of the blocks properly. And so it is with a trustee. A trustee has to be prepared properly, but it's incumbent upon the administration, the secretary of the board, the president of the university, members of the cabinet, to make sure that board members are provided with the kind of information that they need, not only just the contemporary information, but the historical kind of information about the institution's accomplishments, its challenges, its strengths, its weaknesses, and that way the trustee can be better prepared to engage in dialogue, deliberations on whatever the topic may very well be. And so I think that administrators, the leaders of the institution, have an obligation to make sure that relevant information is provided, and trustees have to make sure that they avail themselves, make time available to go through a proper orientation. Otherwise, you find yourself starting over repeatedly throughout your tenure.